Yeah, it's never ever been an intro to this show.
Oh, I kind of liked it though. Should I switch it up? Should
No,
we do that again? Yeah, there we go.
I kind of like the clap.
Ooh,
Wow.
Hey.
I like it.
Oh! Dang, I'm feeling good right now. That's way better.
I know. Screw our
Sorry,
old
Max.
intro. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games for the Game Pass collection, bringing you three unique perspectives of varying skill range. I am the samurai of this episode, Andrew. With me are Gonk, Keith,
Hello.
and our corpo, Aaron.
Hey,
This week, we played Cyberpunk 2077 by CD Projekt Red. I cannot believe this game finally came on Game Pass. But yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 is a first-person action RPG where you are playing, based off the tabletop game Cyberpunk 2077, where you are in the far distant future of 2077, where the world is obviously in a complete dystopian future. Corporations have taken over America. Everything is bleak and miserable. People are just dying, by the hundreds on the streets. And you are trying to get a defective AI that is stuck in your head out of your head before it kills you.
wait a minute, Andrew. Did you say this takes place in 2077 or 2026? Am I right, guys?
Oh,
Man. With that description, I mean, feels like yesterday. Am I right?
It's an average day here. I had a feeling. I actually was probably going to use that joke too, but I guess you beat me to it.
I was
Aaron.
waiting for you to do it, actually. When you were describing like the dystopian future, I was like, ooh, Andrew's ready to gear up and do it. And that's why I took it, because you didn't.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Thank you.
But anyway, going around to whether or not this is a game you would like to play, or if you should save your time and pass. Starting off for me, this is definitely a game for me. So I originally bought Cyberpunk 2077 when it first came out, because this game did come out when the series consoles were just coming out. So I was like, this is a great game, because obviously there wasn't much of a lineup when the Series X came out, but seeing Cyberpunk 2077, and I loved The Witcher 3, so I like what CD Projekt Red does. It's like, you know what, I'm going to get this game. And I had a lot of fun with it. It worked very well in the series consoles. It had its bugs and its flaws, but gosh, that was like, what, 4 years ago now?
The what?
How long they've been out for a while, the series consoles?
Yeah. Are we getting
Like
close
3?
to 7?
No, they were like
No.
4.
It was definitely in the middle of COVID.
Which is
I think
22.
it came out in 2020, right?
No, it's 22.
Not. I want to say 21, 20 or 2021.
There's
Because
no way.
I know it was after we started this podcast because I
Googled it. Google it. We have to. I know
No.
we don't do journalistic integrity, but
or
now
not.
this is going to
But I also know that I
Google
got
what?
one.
When was COVID?
I know that I got one after I moved into my house, which was in 2021, and I know I got one.
I think it launched in
roughly-
2020. You
Yeah.
probably. It was hard to get at first. If you remember, it was like impossible.
It was. I got it. I got it
November
through, like,
10, 2020.
Yeah, I got it through their their
So we're
program.
going on 7 years.
6 years.
Well, 6 years. Closer to 7.
No, closer to 6 years. 5 years closer to 6.
He said 4. What's closer?
I'm just saying, it's closer to 5.
All right, go on, Andrew.
Whatever. But yeah, so this game has had numerous updates. They've added a ton of free content. It is a drastically different game. I have never sat down and fully played this game. I've literally since, I guess these 6 years that I've about had this game, I have just constantly dabbled. It's like every 2 months I'm like, I'm gonna put like 2 hours in this game, and then like something else comes around and I end up putting it down again. So when I finally saw this on Game Pass, I'm like, great, finally an excuse to sit down and really digest this and play this more. Which, fortunately, I still didn't actually have that much time this week because I had some pretty severe food poisoning going on this week. But yeah, long story short, Cyberpunk 2077 is a super fun game. They've added so much content to it. I really want to get the DLC. I've heard fantastic things about the DLC. But I'm very close to the end of the game. I think I'm on the last handful of missions. But I'm trying to do all the side stuff. But yes, this is a definite play.
So you just picked up on your old saved game and just have played from there
Yes,
on
which
play there.
I they had a pretty huge update when they came out with the DLC, the Phantom Liberty, which added like car combat and a whole bunch of other stuff. Like they revamped the skill system, and they recommended like you should probably just start a new save file. I did not, so I kind of wanted to, but I was like, you know what, I still have yet to beat this game, and like I'm just gonna keep going. But yeah,
So
so I did
I'm
not.
I am kind of curious if that changes your opinion of the game versus not, and it, it's not one that like I don't love. I think my biggest issue is, and I think I've probably said this a whole bunch of times before, is there's something about these huge 100+ hour games that just I don't want to say intimidate me, but I almost don't feel like I want to get invested into, but I will also put 200+ hours into Dice a Million. So like why won't I do it here? I don't know, but there's something about them that I'm just like, that just seems like a big commitment that I don't want to deal with in a game right now. So I really struggle to get into them. And so I did start this from the beginning, and I like where it's going in terms of the gameplay, the skill trees, and all of these things. But man, I just can't get into it. And part of my biggest issue at the very beginning so far is in kind of I'm not at the very beginning, but from where I was starting, one of my biggest gripes is I feel like I cannot do anything in this city without all of a sudden being just mobbed by the police. Like it'll be like 1 star
What?
and yeah, like
What are you doing?
I mean, yes, I was shooting, but I was shooting at people who are shooting at other people. So I was trying to like, hey, I'm trying to help the situation. And then, well, we'll get into that. That's just the bugs are kind of an issue for me too, because the fact that this game has been out this long and they've fixed all these things, and there's still at least two or three things that I ran into in my fairly shortish game through.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah.
Are you in a Series X or S?
Series X.
Okay.
But no, it's not even an overall pass. It is a pass for me in terms of just I couldn't get excited about it. And I think I'll probably still try to pick it up over time here and there. Um, I don't know. But yeah, I think unless if you're looking for this style of game, like a huge 150-hour game, I think it's all there for it though.
I
So
remember you didn't like The Witcher 3 as well.
and I probably even kind of said this back then. It's been kind of a while. I kind of just fell out of these types of games. I used to love these types of games, and I just don't really anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of relate to that sentiment, and I think this is an issue with. I mean, all three of us are in a very similar boat, where we've gotten older, we have families, we have full-time jobs, so it's so much easier to pick something up that you can run for 15, 20 minutes, get like, those quick dopamine hits, and then move on to what you need to do next because your time is just super limited. So I kind of get that where these kind of larger commitment games are tough. Um, Obviously I'm in a unique situation where I can kind of commit a little bit more to this type of stuff, but I like this game. To me, this is a game. I specifically did not touch this game when it came out because of how poorly performance the game was running when it came out. And so I stayed away from it. And I said, well, I'll come back to it eventually. Like, I'll come back to it. And I've almost pulled the trigger a few times in the past because CD Projekt Red actually does a really good job of like around Christmas time, the game's basically like $5. They do this on all theirs, on Witcher and stuff like that. They'll drop to
Yeah.
like $12 or something like that. And so there were times where I almost pulled the trigger where I was like, oh, you know what? That's actually a really good deal. But I think every time that happened, I was just in the middle of playing something pretty religiously, and I was like, well, I don't want to purchase it and not play it, so I'm just not gonna touch it. So great thing this did come to Game Pass. Um, yeah, there were certain things that surprised me about it because, just knowing now that we know 6 years ago when this game came out, knowing all the things that I knew about it, it was just kind of interesting to actually see it and play it because I just hadn't done that. And I guess I had some expectations in my head on what this game would be. In some areas, it really lived up to it. In others, it really did not. Uh, and so, I mean, we'll end up going over that. But when you compare this to The Witcher, I don't know why, but to me, The Witcher seems infinitely more polished than this game. Again, I don't think that this means the game is bad. Uh, it almost just makes me think like, okay, this was kind of their first shot at doing something kind of different. Uh,
I think it makes sense though. The Witcher is kind of open, sprawling areas when
it's
this
not
is
even
just dense.
Yeah, it's not even just that. We'll get into it as we kind of talk through it, but there are certain things in this game that I'm kind of shockingly surprised were not very good. And again, other things that were really, really good. Ultimately, this is a game, though.
All right. So getting into the story of Cyberpunk 2077, you are playing V, a character they create, male, female. You create your backstory, where you kind of come from. But you and your best friend have given a job. You are essentially mercenaries. You're kind of freelance people that'll just about do anything for some money. So you were given a job to, do a heist. You do a heist, but unfortunately it goes terribly wrong. You end up losing your friend. You end up getting this chip that you end up kind of hiding and end up putting in your head, which unfortunately contains the whole life memory process of another human being, of a person named Johnny Silverhand, which is played by the amazing Keanu Reeves. But you are essentially on a ticking time bomb now. That this chip that you put in your head, you cannot remove out of your head, or it will end up killing you. But it is slowly taking over your mind, and it'll slowly kill you anyway. So you have to find a way to safely remove the chip before it takes over your life, and so begins your adventure. But yeah, that is the overall story of this. I mean, overall, okay, the story of this game, whenever it comes to these 100+ hour games, I gotta say the main story, and just about all these games, I generally don't care too much. I will say The Witcher 3's overall story I thought was pretty decent when it came to like a large game. But like, I don't know, if you talk about any other sort of Assassin's Creed or any of these, I don't know, I feel like whenever you have a large game, the main quest usually is not the hook. And that's kind of how I felt with this. Like, I was excited when they first announced this, and Keanu Reeves is this character, the main character. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I'm gonna say something. I don't know if you guys will agree, but I actually don't think Keanu Reeves is a great actor.
Oh, he's not.
I love him. I think he's a great human being, but he's very kind of
Very
flat.
wooden.
He was great in The Matrix. Like, he has good roles, I think.
Yes,
But
when
overall,
his
like,
role is to play a wooden character, he does a great job.
yeah, there's in the big picture, Keanu Reeves isn't like a top 10 actor, but he plays in some of my favorite movies at the same time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it seems just like a really great guy too. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love The Matrix. I love the John Wick series.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's no knock on him. I don't think he's properly cast in this game.
I don't think so either.
I don't think this was the guy they should have gotten for that type of role.
Yeah, because he's playing this huge anarchist, this guy Johnny Silverhand, who
Real
50, 50 years ago really hated the corporations and tried to nuke a building, but it was taken down, and they put him in the chip and kind of to capture him, and I don't know, the whole story of him explaining, and then when you go on a whole side quest of him trying to reconnect with his old bandmates and friends, I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, he's not a good guy. Like, there was never a point. Like, and that's what I mean. Like, Keanu Reeves never sold me as an anarchist, as a person. He never seemed sympathetic. So a lot of times his character always appears, only you can see him because he's in your head. And he's obviously will kind of chip in on like some dialogue of somebody will say something to you, and he'll obviously appear and like, oh, don't trust this person, which is also weird because anytime you chipped in of like, don't do this, don't trust them, basically the options were like, do you want to do the quest or not do the quest? I'm like, why would I not do the quest? So it's like, okay, so you're always, to me, I'm always felt like the game was designing me to ignore him. So I'm like, I never felt connected to his character. So the overall story of the game just kind of, I don't know, it was okay.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The story itself to me was not super interesting. It just wasn't. It was also a little confusing.
Yeah.
Especially when you're really kind of starting out. It really kind of just tosses you in there, and you're kind of like, I'm kind of trying to keep tabs of what I'm doing. And it's throwing quests at you, so it feels like there's a bunch of storylines going on, and I'm like, I don't know which one's what. So yeah, I hate to say this because I don't want to like throw this on them. I think CD Projekt Red were really successful when they made The Witcher. They knew this game was going to be kind of the next evolution. I think they got a little bit too big for their britches and said Keanu Reeves is the biggest action star in the world right now because of the John Wick series. And we should put him in this game. And I just don't think it really works. I just don't.
Well, okay. In their defense, though, I wouldn't blame Keanu Reeves. I think it's just the character itself. To
No,
me, like,
I don't blame him. I agree with you. I think the character itself isn't great. I think adding him on there just kind of doubles down on it not working.
yeah,
I think,
I mean, that's trying to just throw a patch at something, right? Like,
Yeah,
and you
like-
see this a lot. Not always, but you see it a lot with big name actors in video games or other things. They're like, well, but we got the name, so just give us that. Ignore what we did with it.
there is like, I hate doing this because I kind of do this on every episode, but there is a version of that character that does work.
I
It
don't
just-
know.
You don't think so?
He's an anarchist that's trying to be like sympathetic.
No, I agree with it, but not being sympathetic. I think it makes sense to do like it's the devil on your shoulder kind of thing, which I think is actually what it was trying to do. Was the devil on your
Yes.
shoulder thing. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I actually don't think that's a bad idea. Like, if you're not even trying to make him sympathetic, he's just this constant nagging thing trying to prod you into the wrong direction, and you're kind of pushing and pulling with him the whole time. That works. And there is some of that. But kind of like you said, I mean, that's a good point, Andrew. Like, sometimes it's giving you not really a good option. Like, if you're going to do this push and pull thing, and he's the devil on your shoulder, then there should be some consequence if you don't take the mission. Like you said, why would I not take the mission?
Yeah, because like literally the last one I did, like the side quest, there's like six or no, I think there's like five, like romance option side characters. So one of them, Judy, I was doing literally her final mission. She's like, "Hey, can you help me? We need to dive in this water." He's like, "Oh, don't go in there. It's toxic." So it's literally options of like, "No, I'll come back later," or "Yes, I'll help you." So I'm like, what's the point of that? Like I'm literally like, of course I'm gonna do the mission. Like I want to do the mission. I want to help this character.
Well, the
So
other
it's- I don't know.
option is come back later.
Yeah,
It's not even-
exactly. And so that's why I'm like, this doesn't feel like a push pull thing because it's like,
Yeah.
it's either do the mission or don't do the mission. And it's like, well, I want to do the mission.
Well, yeah, there should be like a risk that like you don't come back in time or something.
Yeah, or like or almost like a morality thing. Like, are you going to stick with Johnny, who's the anarchist? Are you going to go the anarchist branch, or go to like I don't know the compassion side? To me, that's what it kind of felt like they maybe had the idea of oh yeah, like you're saying, Aaron, the devil on your shoulder. Do you want to be more evil or more good? But it doesn't. It's irrelevant. Which honestly, a lot of the dialogue choices in this game felt irrelevant.
Yeah, I think that's another. Do you like your character?
Yes, at first I didn't. I think he's very annoying in the beginning, but
What,
he
what
starts.
what did you start as?
So I picked a nomad as my backstory.
Oh, same.
You did Nomad? I did Corpo.
Okay, but
So-
honestly, it doesn't matter.
No, I think it all ends up kind of funneling in the same spot. But that was kind of my question. I think there was one. No, there were a few times where I had like a dialogue option that
Yeah.
was specifically, but I don't know what that. It didn't do anything special.
Yeah, when you get dialogue options, you have either yellow, which is like, oh, this is a story pick one, like
Yeah.
it progresses the conversation, or a blue one, which is like additional information. And that's usually you could use your specialty to get just additional information, but it didn't do anything.
No, it didn't give me like a special gun or something. I just
Yeah, so it's always kind
I
of
just
weird.
had a different line. Yeah,
I mean, did it? So, well, like, did it never affect? Because, like, with that opening mission there, when you decide whether or not you're going to tell him about what's her name, Evelyn, like, and he says he's going to give you the extra 40%. Now, I never got past that. So again, I didn't even really get very far into this. Like, I got
Thanks,
stuck.
Keith.
No, when we get into gameplay, I got stuck way too long on different parts. That's like I said, part of my personal issue with it. This is my personal issue, and I'll admit it. But yeah, I don't know, like, did that have any impact at
Like,
all? Or
like that's at most some of the choices you could maybe get like a little bit of extra reward. I
yeah, but
noticed
it's not. And so
sad
like
about it.
maybe that's where the additional information is valuable. But at that point, I don't know. Just seems like it's more work than anything. Now, and at that point, I wonder, does it basically just at the same points give you the option to use your backstory, and it just changes what the actual dialogue is, and there's no real impact to it? Like, do you know
See
what I mean? Like,
that I'm not fully sure. So I am curious though of like if your character's mannerisms change a bit, which I'm assuming they don't. So you picked Corpo Aaron. So was he more like proper?
No, not
Okay.
really. He kind
You
of
know,
he kind of seemed like a douchey tech bro. As
I mean,
Okay, which
I
he
think
does even as a nomad.
yeah.
I was gonna say, I think if anything, the really what this game can show you is that nobody like none of that's gonna matter. I just had my character run around butt naked because I thought it was funny, and not a single person is faced. Like I know that that's like a very weird, not weird, but like progressive, open, future or whatever. But I'm like, somebody should at least be like, hey, can you put some clothes on?
Yeah.
But no, not a single person.
So we're
So,
gonna talk about the genitals in the room now.
well,
I do
obviously,
like. That's one thing I loved about when Cyberpunk was
character.
first coming out, that you could customize your genitals, and like the memes that were coming out were so funny. But
I did not customize mine. I didn't care. I just kind of kept going.
Oh, it's completely irrelevant. Even as Keith said, like nobody cares. It's nobody says any comment about anything that you're wearing ever, which is
This
kind of
is-
also weird too.
So this is again why this is why I come back to this and just there are certain things that kind of surprised me, and this is kind of all adding into the big pie of things that kind of surprised me. If like I thought those backgrounds would make more of an impact. I haven't seen any at this point. Which, by the way, this game is more than a 1 week review game, so I do want to be completely clear.
That is
Andrew
true.
obviously had a heads up. I didn't. Keith didn't. So Andrew's played it a long time ago. Once it went on Game Pass is when we put it in. So this does require more to actually properly do this. But to this point, I have not noticed any difference in that background. I've been surprised that dialogue choices seemed not that interesting. It didn't look like it was really changing a whole lot to things. Yeah, there's like a lot of elements to this where I was like, I wonder if so. Andrew, you said this is based off of a tabletop game.
Yep.
Okay,
I don't think I actually ever knew that.
I didn't know that either. What's kind of surprising to me about this is I think with The Witcher had source material. It's a book series. So when I think back, and it's been a while since I played The Witcher, but I just remember The Witcher just feeling so much more connected and fully thought through, where this one feels like it was kind of a bunch of ideas that weren't fully fleshed out, at least when it comes to the story.
Well, let me clarify. Not tabletop, but role playing. So it's like D&D.
Okay. I didn't know that.
So this does have a lot of lore to it. Hence, Johnny Silverhand is a recurring character in
okay.
the role playing game.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just there were a lot of elements in the story, especially and some of the world stuff where I was like, I'm actually not that impressed with this.
Yeah, I mean, so this world is good, and The case in point, like that, it proves that it is. Like to me, I just think Cyberpunk 20 or CD Projekt Red I just don't think they picked a good story to go with this. I'm assuming, did either of you guys watch the anime series that's on Netflix?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Very
The Edge
good.
Runners?
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
And I think that is a perfect example of like this world is cool and there is something here, because that Edge Runners did gangbusters for this game. Because like this game was kind of on its down end, but when that happened, CD Projekt Red was like, okay, we got to come up with a patch and put some of that stuff in there. So some of the music's in there. You can actually find like one at least of the characters, and then some of the items they had.
You know why Edge Runners is good though? It's like really fast. It's like really rated R. Like it's very mature.
Yes.
And so is this game, but this game feels a lot more tame and slow
A little bit.
compared to Edge Runners.
Well, okay. Have you seen like some people like have clips online? You could do crazy things, but it is weird though. Like obviously, I never felt that way. To me, I'm like, okay, I can still just blam, blam, blam. They're dead. Blam, blam, blam.
Yeah.
You're dead. But like you could see people online like literally go through a facility in 10 seconds and like systematically assassinate people, and I'm like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
But you don't need to do it.
No.
But
Yeah.
I do know what you mean, where this does feel slower.
Yeah.
And you can like
It's
fly
not a
and
fast
stuff
paced game.
too later, can't you? Like, cause I feel like I've seen clips of people like landing on top of buildings and stuff in this game. Am
No,
I
well, you can
completely
get
making that
augments
up?
to double jump or a higher jump, but like no, you can't like fly.
Or like a glide or anything? I swear.
No, they probably made a
No.
mod. There's a good amount of
Yeah,
mod
it's
support in this
probably.
game too.
I have a tendency to fall into
I don't
watching
remember
stuff like
seeing
that.
anyone
So
gliding, but I could
this
be
was
wrong.
this. I'm thinking like years back, so it's very possible I even saw
It was
a
just a
mod.
glitch?
Or no, it was probably either a mod or I probably just didn't see that at all and I made it up in my head.
But I will say, like, well, speaking of that though, well, no, I don't want to quite get in that. I still want to talk a little bit about the story. But I will say the side characters of this game were at least pretty interesting. I did enjoy their stories.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you guys obviously probably didn't delve too much into them, but like River, he's an ex-cop. You kind of do this whole like child trafficking ring that was actually kind of a cool story. Judy's I think was okay. Hers was like trying to help a prostitution house, but like I don't know. I at least enjoyed Pan Am's was cool because she's a nomad. She was my romance option too that I went with. Who
Pan
wouldn't pick
Am, like the air flight.
Yeah.
No. Yes. Just yeah. She's the
She's
airplane.
just an airplane.
She's a jumbo jet, Keith.
True romance.
But yeah, no, like so I at least liked some of the characters that were actually introduced in this game are actually pretty good. But yeah, overall too, you did make a good point though, Aaron. I don't think your character is that super interesting either.
No, like
Doesn't
I
have
didn't
that kind of a
I didn't love
backstory.
Johnny Silverhands, and I
Yeah.
didn't really care for me. I'm okay, but it wasn't. I was not overly connected to that character, and I even. And again, when you're talking about motivations, like why should I care about my character? I don't know. You're kind of just thrown in, and you work for a corporation, and you don't seem like you're that good of a person. You're kind of doing shady stuff, so it's like I don't know.
Oh, there's a story gripe. I That's not just this game. It always irritates me in a game when it's like, oh, you have a ticking time bomb in your head. But it's really actually just tied to the main story. So as long as you
Yeah.
don't do the main story, it's never gonna go off.
Yeah, it'll
Like
never be an
somebody,
issue.
it is like a common trope when somebody gets heck, Baldur's Gate 3 did it, where it's just like, oh, you're gonna lose your head if you don't rid of this parasite in your head. But it's just like, okay. So constantly while you're playing the game, it'll do moments where oh the relic is glitching and your character's freaking out. It's like, well, I'm fine. I'm gonna wake up in a little bit and everything's gonna be okay. So I just kind of hate when a story kind of does that of like, oh, you better hurry. And it's like, nah, I'm okay. I'm going to keep picking flowers for a side quest. I'm okay. But yeah, so getting into the gameplay though, this is very drastic from The Witcher 3. I will say I at least applaud CD Projekt Red for really kind of taking a big swing and doing something completely different.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Going from Witcher of, medieval horses and swords and magic to future cars and guns. It's an open world, very much think like Grand Theft Auto, driving cars, steal cars, shoot random people. There's a police that'll enforce the laws. Everything is super bleak. That's the other thing too. This game's very kind of like depressing to play. The news is constantly going off of just everyone's being murdered and death everywhere, drugs rampant, and just everything's dirty and grungy. And I'm like, this is not a happy game.
It's the future,
like-
man.
Yeah, were you watching CNN, Andrew? That sounds like today.
Got him.
Gosh. Oh, this is a good one, Aaron.
Well, he timed it way better that time.
But yeah, the gameplay though, I will say the gunplay felt really good. I do like the stealth aspect of this game. When you get more into the cyberware and like the hacking, that's what I mostly focused on. I actually enjoyed the hacking. They made it simpler. I remember I felt like you always had to do these hacking mini games, but they've streamlined a lot of that stuff. I gotta say the gameplay's fun.
I should have done more of that. Because I was going just straight combat. The combat is good, not.
To me, there's
great.
not enough.
This is another one of my gripes. Like I've got a lot of gripes, but again, overall, the product is a good product. I thought the AI in this, the enemy CPUs, are dumb as bricks.
A little bit, yeah.
Not a little bit. They are dumb as bricks. I felt like it was not at all a challenge to go into a room and just blast everyone, and it was not an issue. So, again, something that kind of surprised me. I was expecting a lot more from that. I was expecting the combat to be really crisp. The guns feel good.
Yeah.
They look good. They sound good. I don't have an issue with any of that. But, I mean, I kind of feel like I can just walk into a room, just blast everybody, and just keep going. And it's no big deal.
I wonder a little bit though if that's, like it's like when we play like an early 360 game and it looks like a 360 game, even or in some cases it might look like a later 360 game, but you forget the way those games played. Sometimes like this was an early Series X, late One X game.
We had much better. Like
and I know the technology was better, but I'm just little things of like the real subtleties about like sound, and even just thinking about with like the stealth, it's purely like they should just have the old PS2 cone on the mini map to like show what they're looking at.
Yeah.
That if you can slightly sneak to their side, you'll get them. It's like little things like that this, and they've
You can get a
polished
cyber
this over
upgrade
the
that
years.
has that.
All right, see, there
really?
you go.
Yeah.
But to that point too, like they've even continued to polish this over the years so that it looks like a 2025 game, but it still plays like a 2019, 2018 game.
Well, so that's the thing that's also really surprising to me. So, as much as I had never played this game when it first came out, I didn't start playing it till a week ago. As much as I hadn't done all that, I remembered when the big updates came out. So I remember they had a massive overhaul, and it was like the driving got completely overhauled. The
combat got overhauled.
Yeah, all the police systems got overhauled.
Yep.
Like you said, your progression trees got overhauled. So it was kind of surprising to me, and I thought in the back of my head that the AI enemies got overhauled as well. I thought they did. So when I was playing this, I was kind of shocked because they were playing very dumb. So I was like, well, I'm kind of surprised. I thought that would have been overhauled with everything.
The AI is not the worst. Like
It's not the
they will
worst.
flank. They will flank you and stuff.
It's just not what I expected. That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm saying when I came into this, I had a bunch of expectations, and there were certain areas where it really met it and exceeded it, and there were others where it didn't. This was one of those where I guess I was expecting it to feel different. I was just kind of surprised by it.
See, how many times did you guys die in this game?
Once.
So
ton.
that you died a ton.
So this is what I'm saying. Now, this is dumb little things that like took me a little bit. So
Kept stepping in front of cars.
No, I did that a handful of times, but that never killed me. But it was, in particular, I didn't realize I could advance time. So I was trying to wait for like Moxies to open up or whatever at the 6 p.m. So I'm like driving around the city just trying to kill time. I'm like, oh, I'll do some side quests. Pull up on some side things. Every time I so much as even was like, hey, I'll join this fight that's already going on. There should be massive police forces here because there's a gun battle happening. I look at the battle and all of a sudden it's a 2-star police situation. I can't get away from anything because I have 6 police cars on me at all times, mercilessly just chasing me. Like I'm like, I don't, and then I'm dead. Or I walk into one of these situations again, and maybe, or there was one time, there's like these 3 punks or whatever that are just harassing a citizen. So I'm trying to help this poor citizen who's being attacked. Now every time I come back to life, they immediately remember me. If I so much as drive by that area, immediately.
Hey, you.
Yeah, like I can't. I don't have like I had to engage the fight the first time. I could just walk past it. Now I can't even walk past it. They see me and it's on site. I'm just like, what? This is ridiculous.
Please, no.
So then I finally figured out how to
just
advance time.
bullying
It's
you.
like,
Yeah.
45 minutes later, and I don't want to fight them because if I fight them, then all of a sudden I've got a 2-star police situation going on. I don't want to fight back.
Hey, you were the idiot that tried to help that civilian. Get him. No.
He's throwing his money at him. Take my lunch money.
Wish I had lunch money to give them.
I will say though, the combat actually is way easier this time around. When I first was playing this game, I was dying like every fight. I felt like
Really?
yes, it was because that's the thing. It was hard to kind of see where you were getting hitting from. Hit registrations really weren't telegraphed that well. Like this is kind of a little bit of the combat revamping that happened.
Because that stuff was very clean. Like when you're hitting, when you were shooting someone, when you were
Yeah.
getting headshots, it is telegraphing it to you perfectly.
Yeah. But when you were taking damage and stuff, there was a lot of times I'm like, I don't know what's hitting me. Because that's the thing. Enemies can hack you too. So sometimes the enemies can kind of hack at you and stuff and things that are going on. I'm like, what is happening right now? But a lot of that's way more telegraphed now and like easy to
Yeah, you have
understand
like that
and
red
focus.
line if you're being hacked, right?
Yeah, if you're being
Was
hacked,
that
yeah,
not
it kind
there
of points
before?
out. I think that was, when someone's kind of invading you. But yeah, there was just moments where it's just anytime. So like, I was like, I just got to be stealthy. And yeah, eventually, as I said, you do get a cyber upgrade where you can actually see people's visions cone on the mini map, so you can kind of have an idea as how to sneak around people. But yeah, because I was like, man, combat is just so hard in this game that I'm like, I just got to be stealthy and try to take people out.
Interesting. So my experience is, oh, this is really, really easy.
Yeah.
But your experience is, wow, this is drastically fixed.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
kind of funny. Well, it's just because you played it when it was broken. I didn't. So
Yeah.
my first experience on it, I come back and say, well, it seems really simple. And yours is like, oh, wow. Overhauled and perfect.
I
Yeah,
will
and the
say I
skill
never
tree
died in,
is
like,
way better,
mission
too.
combat. It was only an open world. Like that's where I was dying the most.
The fun, happy, do
That-
whatever you want
and I-
time.
well, and I
He's like,
think
this is miserable.
I think that's where, and honestly, like I said, or like Aaron said, I wish that I was forced to play this game for 2 weeks or more because I think I probably would have broken to a point where I'd be fine with that. But trying to like just get this done, not get this done, but like try to like play this in a week, I was like, I this is annoying me. I want to go out in the world because it feels like Grand Theft Auto. I mean, you can go, you
Yeah.
can steal cars, but I like that there's your skill tree. You have like you have to have a certain strength level to be able to take over certain cars and things like that. So you can't just immediately go steal any car. At least if I understood that system right. I didn't try because again, I did not dare mess with NCPD. I was a law-abiding citizen if I had to be.
He's stopping at all the red lights.
Yeah.
Traffic
Just
speed
leave me
limits.
alone.
The cops have scared him and
Again,
straight.
maybe this is the point where I should have put clothes on. Maybe this is really the
Yeah, that was the problem.
Oh yeah, if you're running around naked with no
Here's
armor.
that naked guy again.
Oh, freak.
No.
I checked my armor. My clothing didn't provide any armor, but yeah,
There isn't a lot that does. It's kind of weird.
Well, I don't know. I guess that doesn't matter then. But I did. Yeah, I liked the skill tree and all of that. I thought that was kind of cool because we talk about this all the time. You've been preaching it with Kingdom Come Deliverance. It may not be super in depth, but it is a little bit of like, okay, you're killing people. That's going to go towards your headhunting or your hacking. So that goes towards what the Netrunner
Well,
abilities.
no, that's not quite. That's more perks though, and not quite your skill tree. You still get a skill point which you put in your like your body, your reflex, or your hacking. But yeah, the things you're doing in the world, it unlocks like a perk system which slightly upgrades your character.
Okay, but I mean, still to a certain degree, like you're at least motivated to be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, maybe I'll try to focus on doing this a little bit more for the next couple side missions or whatever it might be, because you want to get that, get that perk up or something like that.
Yeah, which is I was curious. Like, probably should have done like a new playthrough, because that's the thing I remember when I first played this game. There is so many systems to this game,
There are.
and I just remember just things constantly flashing on my screen. I'm like, I don't know what that means. What is that? Okay, I got street cred. What does that mean? It took me forever to finally figure out like the menu as to where it is and like what it's doing, which gives you like discounts on like street vendors and people know your name more. And it's like, okay. It's like, okay, but it's like, that would have been nice to know. Everything's just flashing. And then one of your top things, it's just text boxes. And obviously I kept picking this game up and putting it down. So, months down the road, I'm like, I forget what this is. What's going on here?
There were pop-up tutorials. Like that's kind of how the tutorials work.
Okay.
There are pop-up tutorials, but they're not super extensive. Like they kind of get you the basics, and that's kind of about it. But 100%, when you're going to drop into this game, there's kind of a lot to try and figure out and focus on.
Yeah. There's a lot of jargon too when it comes to dialogue too.
Yeah, it kind of does toss you in there, assuming you understand a lot of that stuff. Yeah, that stuff. Did you have like was this now you're making me wonder. Do you remember when you kind of go do your first mission where you're actually shooting people? Did it give you a little tutorial then back in the original one where you kind of put in that chip?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I
Oh
wondered
yeah, I
if that was
skipped
new.
that, but I didn't feel like I needed to
You
learn how
skipped
to
that?
shoot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have skipped that. Like it
really?
kind of shows you a lot.
Okay. I mean, I guess. I mean, like, I believe you. You put me in a first-person shooter, and I'm like, unless you force me to go through the tutorial,
There's
I
a lot of hacking elements, and yeah, that's that kind of it probably spends more on that than it does on the actual combat. The combat's just like, yeah, point your gun and shoot.
I mean, I
But the
figured out
actual
how
hacking stuff.
to hack. I just didn't know what my actual hacking skills necessarily did. It doesn't describe. It doesn't tell you what they do. I just kind
Tutorial
of.
does.
No, so that would have helped. I agree, but yeah, I just was like, I don't need a tutorial on how to aim down sights, on how to pull the trigger, and all of those things. So, I didn't feel like wasting my time with it.
Yeah, there was a
Oh.
huge section of how not to piss the cops off.
Yeah, it does tell you don't be nude if you don't want to get killed by the same people.
Be
over.
never nude.
I forgot to tell you that, Keith. Yeah, that was in the tutorial.
You just had to put your clothes on. Well, that checks out.
Did you ever play this during the day, Keith? Did your kids ever come in the room and be like, "Why are you just running around with your wiener out, Dad?"
I did not play it with the children around. No,
Did you play
I
third
just
person?
want to live my life.
I did not play third person. No,
I didn't either.
There is no third person.
Oh, there isn't?
Then
No,
that explains
that's
why I did
everyone
not
is
play
still to
third
this day
person.
is pissed about that.
Well, then how
Well,
could
if
you
you're
see
gonna
your
be
nude body?
nude,
You can look
Yeah.
down and see your no. Usually, when you look down, you're still wearing underwear, even though your character is technically nude.
It's true.
Oh,
It's true.
I
guess
think PC version you could see your wiener if you look down, but
Which,
the
wh-
Xbox
what's,
version, you're
what's the point of having the genital picking then if you have to wear underwear all the
Yeah,
time?
I need to see that thing.
I don't know.
The only time you get to see it is when you're in the. You do see it in the menu.
Yes,
it
in the
does,
menu you see it.
You have no underoos when you.
and it has physics. You can move your character around and it wiggles.
Yeah, everything's.
Wow, I really missed out.
I mean, it's a wild time. It's a wild time. It's no Red Dead Redemption with the horses.
That's true.
But you know, you're never gonna beat cold shrinking physics in Red Dead Redemption.
Good point. That's a good point.
One of my biggest complaints, though, I want to say with the gameplay, though, I hate the racing in this game. It's awful. I thought, like, when they talked about revamping all the cars and stuff like that, I'm like, okay. The racing is so, like, fake. So I have a car that's 1,600 horsepower. It's like one of the fastest cars. And, like, if you do a street race, the cars are always with you.
Yeah.
And then, too, if you crash, the AI will stop so
yeah.
you can catch up. And I'm like, what's the point? Like, this is just fake racing. Like, it doesn't matter. You could be driving a beater that just goes 2 miles an hour. The AI will slow down for you. So, like, literally, one of the races I did, one of the side races for fun, I picked the wrong car because it was an off-road race. So my car literally is flying all over the place in the desert. I still won the race. I still, like, the AI just slowed down for me so I could just pass him at the end.
So it's better than the racing in Mafia then?
Oh my god. Oh my
Yeah.
god. That racing in Mafia.
It's funny because that's exactly what I was gonna say. Is like, oh, remember Mafia?
Oh my god. I was playing on the hardest difficulty. That racing in Mafia, you maybe want to pull my hair
It was
out.
pretty bad. That was
Which difficulty were you playing this on? Because I just played it on normal.
I think
That's what I
normal. Yeah, I mean, it's been forever since I picked it, but I'm assuming it was normal. And I remember, like I said, I was having a very hard time. I was dying a lot.
That's fair. That's fair.
Did you guys also do all the male V, or did you any of you do
Yeah, I did
female?
male.
No, I was the female.
I
Obviously, I played nude. Why would I play as a dude?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Come on, Andrew. I thought you would figure that out already.
okay.
Pervert. It's disgusting.
Well, you could be female, but still do a wiener, Keith.
Didn't they say
That's a good point.
that the female V was like that was the original like prototype? Like that's who they envisioned as the main character?
I think so. I mean, it's on the cover,
Is
but
it?
I don't know.
I remember like the early, not the early trailers, but one of the earlier trailers that had the male version.
Yeah, I feel like they've done an equal for both of the marketing because I've seen the covers with the male and the covers with the female.
I kind of just wish they picked one. I kind of wish they just picked one.
I don't know.
And
It's a role playing game, so it's like The original is a role playing game, so that's what you
Which,
want to be.
uh, in all honesty,
So was
this
The
kind
Witcher.
of bothered me because this, like,
No, it isn't.
they make a big deal about how this is the future and like you can like modify your body, and yes, you have all these things, but you have a very stagnant body. There was no changing like any proportions of any of your body or anything. Like it just
Oh, for the character creator.
yeah, it was a bad character creator. It lets you pick what was underneath your underoos, and that was it. Like that was the most interesting part.
The only
of
thing
it.
that matters.
No, but like, but but even in terms of just like being a unique character creator, everything else was nose, eyebrows, eyelashes, eye color. Like,
It was a lot of changing of color, basically.
yeah, it was super boring. It just wasn't a good character creator. And then they were just like, but you can pick a penis. I was like, but, and don't get me wrong, if this was like High on Life, that would have been hilarious, and it would have been like totally perfect. But in the context of this, it was just like didn't really make sense. Like that's kind of I'm with Aaron. Like just give me one character and let the RPG elements be all of the skill trees and all of that I'm picking.
I do love that. I feel like we've talked so much about the genitals of this game.
I haven't.
Why wouldn't you talk more about that in this game?
I didn't even mess with them. I didn't do anything with them.
So boring, Aaron.
I know.
But no, I feel like we really kind of glossed over a lot of the gameplay. I gotta say though, the gameplay though was fun. I do agree, Aaron, that the AI I thought was kind of dumb. But it's like anytime action was going on, though, I actually thought this game did really well. You made a good point, though. I loved the guns. The guns I thought were very cool, really good designs. There's a good variety of them, too, from melee to range to snipers to shotguns. I will say, the thing that kind of irritates me of this game, I mentioned a little bit, but the overall UI and the information this game kind of throws at you is a lot of information.
There's a ton.
And the color palettes when it came to like the menus and stuff like that, I get lost looking at this game. So did you play this on PC, Aaron?
No, because it's on Game
right.
Pass, but console only.
That's right. I am curious. This to me, this felt like it was more designed for PC. The way they kind of displayed the informations and stuff like that, I'm just gonna pick a gun. If this feels well for me and it's working, I'm gonna stick with it. That's usually ended up being my logic with a lot of these guns.
Yeah. I didn't go through a ton of the guns. I didn't feel a massive difference in like damage output from gun to gun. It was just kind of like which one felt more fun to play with is kind of all I really felt. But again, not as I am saying this from the perspective of we literally only played it for a week. So there could be way more to explore there. I didn't really mess with any of the melee weapons, although that one did always appeal to me when I saw like previews of this game and you get the sweet blades that come out of your wrist.
Yep, the mantis blades.
Yeah. I would have played with those if I came across those.
Or the nanowire. The nanowire I think was added from Edge Runner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the whips.
Yeah. That could have been fun.
Yeah, that stuff is expensive. That's when you got to get the more expensive cyberware stuff, which I do like. I that's the thing I always kind of forget about of like, oh, I got to go to a Ripper Doc and upgrade my body and kind of get new things. I got gorilla arms, so I was better at punching. But yeah, I do like this kind of added element of like, oh yeah, you can augment your body. Kind of
That part is
Look
super
like you
cool.
had gorilla arms.
What?
Did it look like you had gorilla
No.
arms at least? See, that's
They were
what
just
I'm talking
metal.
about. I want like
You wanted big, hairy, black like gorilla arms?
Man,
there's this giant.
Oh, you walk on them?
that would have been kind of sick, honestly. But I will say, I do
That's
think
the
that
cyberpunk future I envision. That's all I'm saying.
that to me was one of the better thought out systems was that augmentation. So going to the Ripper Doc, picking out what you want adjusted and then what it does for you. That stuff was kind of cool. Like that's a cool way of kind of build it. I mean, it's kind of weird because you still do have a skill tree because you could have almost replaced the augmentations with the skill tree and just made the augmentations. You could have done that. But either way, it plays great. Like I actually really like that part of it a lot. I didn't do anything crazy though. I was just like, I mean,
Yeah,
I
because the
didn't do
cyberwars are
gorilla
super
arms.
fun. Like the one I always used was a spreading contagion. So you infect one person, it literally just spreads a disease to people. But I saw somebody use one where it literally makes people commit suicide. And it's like, gosh, it's like that's crazy. Yeah, like these are like, and that was I think one of the newer ones they added. Like before, I don't think you could even hack the cars, but now you can actually make the cars self-destruct, or you can make them drive on their own, which is also super fun when you're sneaking to an area and you see people standing in front of a car, just have the car plow through people. Yeah, the gameplay is just a lot of fun with the hacking because just about everything in this game you can hack and manipulate.
Like,
But
is that Watch Dogs?
oh,
Just like
no,
Watch
that's-
Dogs.
Yeah, just like.
Love that game.
Oh gosh, everyone was so mad when they were like when they said that they're like everything you could manipulate, and it's like no, you can open and close doors.
Yeah,
Basically.
that's pretty much it.
Same exact thing.
But yeah, graphically though, this game is really depressing. Overall the graphics of this game are good, but to me the biggest issue was just like I said, color palette choice, especially when it came to the UI. The UI stuff, I think it's weird with the whole dark red and black on like some of the like outlines. I don't know. To me, like with the skill tree, it was hard to see what these icons are.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because usually when you come to a skill tree, you can kind of see things in a normal game and be like, okay, I can see maybe that's doing this or that. A lot of this, I'm like, what is this? And honestly, this is an improvement. The previous skill tree was way more confusing looking. This one, they really kind of separated things and made things more clear as to how you're kind of branching things. The old UI, it's kind of hard to describe, but it was just all over the place. I literally was just putting points in things because I'm like, there's so much here. I don't feel like reading all this stuff. That sounds good enough. Whatever, I'll pick that. But no, they made it way more cleaner now. So good job on that, CD Projekt Red. But it's still just a little bit easy to get lost in things, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, color palette, well, at least going through the menu. I mean, when you're talking about a cyberpunk game, I guess that's kind of the classic, the black and red. So I didn't really think much about it, but you are pointing that out. You're like, oh, yeah, it was actually kind of hard to see those icons in the tree. I didn't think the game, I think the game is a pretty beautiful looking game. Truthfully.
Okay, yeah, no, the overall game, yes, is good.
I think it kind of, like if there's anything you take out of this, it's truly excellent. Like I think Night City is a beautiful looking city. Like I think they did a really, really good job with it. And it's also one of those games that can be kind of fun to look around and realize how many little pieces of detail are all over the place. So it doesn't feel like they just copy and pasted a lot of walls around there. It feels like they really did spend their time kind of meticulous with it. Do you remember when this game first launched? How there was like a do you remember what there was all over the city?
No.
You don't remember this? Oh,
No,
you got to
what?
look this up. Well, it depends. I'm gonna keep this PG. I will just say, speaking of genitalia, they were male genitalia items.
I do remember that.
There was like, everyone was like, why are there so many in this game? It was like every room you entered had them just sitting on counters and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, no, there's a weapon. You could get one as a weapon.
Yes, but my point was like, I'm just thinking about the detail, and I was like, yeah, there's like little pieces of trash and stuff that seem so individually made, and it made me remember. Oh,
It's
yeah,
just so
they
like keys.
They
like
did
wieners
individually.
everywhere.
Whoa.
That detail once went out of hand a little bit, but I'm just kind of going down a tangent there. I think graphically, this game is incredibly good to look at. Just a beautiful looking game. And I think some of their character details are really, really good. So, I mean, I've got, at least when it comes to graphics, I don't really have much complaints. I guess you kind of pointed out the one thing where I was like, oh, yeah, it's kind of hard to see.
I have another one, and that's the Wastelands, the Outlands. Really flat and boring. And like, because I started as a nomad, so I started out there. Because like, oh, that's going to be kind of
cool. What
cool.
do you want it to be?
But no, but there's like, it's very boring. Like, even when you drive out there. I guess, but if you look at the map, it's like a quarter of the map, and it's just there's just nothing. Like you never go out there and be like, oh, I want to go. Like it's like not even a city. There's maybe a small shanty town, but it's not like I'm going to go out there and find some quest. No,
Honestly,
it's a whole lot of nothing.
Well, this comes back to original issue that I have is This is why I kind of wish you were just a set character.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
give
yeah.
don't give me the options of 3 backgrounds if it doesn't actually change much of my gameplay experience. Don't make there be a desert.
That's a good point.
Just enjoy the
That's a good
city. The
point.
city is what everyone's spending all their time in anyway. So the
Yeah.
reason why I think the desert's there is because nomad's an option. They needed a third option. And they needed it to feel a little bit different than the other two that take place in the city. So that's the only reason I could think they could do that and just remove it altogether. I'm not really going to take much of a shot at a desert. It's a desert. I don't know. It should be boring. It's a desert. But your problem is it probably just shouldn't be there altogether.
It's a good point. But okay, I do like the city, but I will say a lot of it feels pretty samey.
Yeah,
I mean,
it feels like a future city.
That's true.
But you're not. It kind of nails. Like when you're watching a movie like Total Recall.
Especially since Blade Runner.
Only the new one. Or Blade Runner. Another great example.
You and your Ryan Gosling.
It's clearly taking the inspirations from those or your kind of cyberpunk styles and they're
Dredge.
putting it in here. But none of those offer a lot of variety. Like none of those pieces of material are like, oh, here's a different part of the city and I can totally tell it's all cyberpunk.
That's true. But yeah,
So you're not wrong. It's pretty to look at. And I will say another thing that's kind of interesting to me. The city, you're right where it's not like diverse, but it was thought out with intention. Like there are times where I'm driving around and I'm like kind of shocked at like this route that it's created. Like it's kind of going up and over this section and stuff. And I'm like, all right, so there's a lot of detail here. It's not just like north, south, east, west. There is a lot kind of built in. And again, the detail to it makes it feel like, okay, this was all intentionally placed here. And I feel like there's just nooks and crannies all over the place. It's not just a bunch of walled off corridors with maybe an alley here and there. It felt like there was a lot going there. It was a big spider web.
Yeah. You do make a great point, though. The character models in this game are awesome. I do love that because I do love with this futuristic style of augmentations. You know, you got the wide gambit of people that clearly have done like no augmentation. Some people have done way too much augmentations and like different kind of body like morphs of like different people that have. Awesome. I really like the details of all these people because even to the NPCs too didn't feel too flat and generic looking. Like everyone had some nice style to them. I loved the character models in this game.
see, I wouldn't call it a complaint, but I didn't think they were overly diverse. I thought it was a lot of like the same character models, just painted differently. There was like a short person that literally looked like a child walking around, and then there was, I don't know, like a couple different male and female. It wasn't. I didn't think it was all that diverse in terms of that. It was just they all had different augments that.
Well, you have to get past the tutorial, Keith.
I mean, I guess that's fair. I'll give you that. But I traversed a lot of Night City still. I was trying to kill a couple of hours without causing mayhem at the same time. It was not
How long
easy.
did it take you to realize you could just
Probably
skip
like
time?
40 minutes or so of just fighting around. Because I would die and then it would set me back to like 2 p.m. where I started. I'm like, ugh.
Was it like a mission related like time you had to be at a place?
Yeah, I had to be at the brain dance place, the strip club.
Like almost all main story missions, when you get there, they have an option. It says press A to like sit down and wait.
mean,
It didn't give you that?
I didn't. I
You
might
didn't look
not have
around,
walked-
I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Because that's
I
one thing I
did-
do love about this game. And there's a lot of things are timed, like, oh, be here at noon, be here in the evening, be in the morning. And when you get there at any time, it's just like, oh, wait for that time. And you just press A.
I will say this is just a real random side note about that area. Was I making it up, or was that like a little nod to Borderlands? They were called Moxies, and like the very first one at the door, she's got like the same purple and black. She's got a baseball bat, like the makeup match Moxie from Borderlands. I don't know if that was just me.
I actually didn't look that up. But yeah, as far as the audio goes, voice acting's great. Not a huge fan of this game's soundtrack.
Outside of the one track from the Armed.
Yep.
I love the Armed, and I remember like for whatever.
Wait. Which one was that one? I'm thinking the one soundtrack I liked is the main one from Edge Runners.
No, the song's called Night City Aliens, which is always funny because I would listen to it on Spotify, and I was always like, I never looked at the art of it. Like I knew it was from the game, but I was like, why do they keep saying Night City Aliens? And then you play the game and you're like, oh, like every song sings about Night City.
Yeah.
In this game. So it's like, oh, okay, I guess that would make sense. But the Armed is awesome. So, and I hear that, I'm like, all right, that's pretty sick. But it's not as memorable as like a Grand Theft Auto soundtrack. I feel like when a Grand Theft Auto soundtrack comes out, it's like a big deal. But yeah, I don't think this one quite had that level.
Yeah, because I mean, the great thing about Grand Theft Auto too is they have a lot of talk shows, which are very entertaining, and there's not really in this. I will say I do like that essentially your head has a radio, so you can actually turn the radio on and off like while you're walking around if you want, or like in your car. So it's kind of great too. Like, yeah, if you're riding your car and you like that song, like you could get out of your car and it's just playing in your character's head. Really cool feature. I do at least like that. But yeah, just overall the soundtrack is not great.
It's fine. I wouldn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it hits the vibe. I will say
it
they
definitely
hits the vibe.
went out of their way and they curated this. So they found bands and artists that they really like, and I imagine they laid out what the vibe was and everything, and then just had them go make their music. So I don't want to sit there and knock on it as it was just bad. It clearly was trying to fit a vibe.
Yeah.
And either that vibe's going to work for you, or it's not.
It's very true. But yeah, the voice acting though I think is great. Yeah. Like I said, obviously I think some performance issues with Keanu Reeves, but overall I like the main character, the other characters.
Yeah. I wonder what that character would have been like if it wasn't Keanu. If it was somebody that was a little bit more animated, I guess.
Idris Elba.
Well, so he's obviously in the DLC.
Yeah, which I heard.
But everyone seems to like him in that. Everyone says he was really good in it. I don't think Johnny Silverhands needed to be Idris Elba. I think he needed to be somebody more like frantic and like Charlie Day. That's who it needed to be.
No, there's
Jack
your
Black.
Yeah, Jack Black. Jack Black.
Wow.
Terry Crews.
I thought it would actually be a lot of fun. Liam Neeson.
I'm trained for a very specific.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, the voice acting overall is good though. As far as the achievements go, though, the achievements are not for achievement hunters. It's a whole lot of completions. Gosh, like one of them is to find like every single fast travel point. Such work. Yeah, find all.
There was a lot of them.
Yes, there's a ton.
I felt like there was one on like every other corner.
I know.
Goodness.
Which obviously you'll find a lot if you actually are just driving around in the city, because just driving past the point, you're considered getting it. Yeah, and then there's hidden tarot card like paintings you got to find. Yeah, the achievements are not great in this game, so it's definitely not for achievement hunters. Heck, I've put I think like almost 20 hours in this game, and I'm at like 170 gamer score. You get like an achievement for completing all the side character quests of like each character, but man, this is not for achievement hunters.
Isn't 20 hours like nothing in this game too?
Kind of. I actually might be lying. I actually didn't really look at my playtime. I just don't know because I've literally, like I said, I've been putting a couple hours here and there for like the past years.
Yeah, just on the years this game has been out alone, feels like you should be more of that.
I know. When I saw that, I said the same thing. I'm like, am I at the beginning of this game? But the game actually does keep a progression of like the stories, like how far you are in the percentage of the story. And I'm at like 80% for the main story. So I'm like, okay, I think I'm actually really close to the end. But yeah.
That's what 80% would imply.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let's get to
100%.
Let's wrap this bad boy up here. So getting into our final thoughts here on Cyberpunk 2077. So starting off for me, like I said, I bought this game when it first came out. I was very excited for it. And just whatever reason, I just never has. I will say, I guess never fully hooked me. That's why I never sat down and fully focused on it. Because I felt like every time, too, they were like, another patch is coming out, another big patch is coming out. So I think, to me, I just kept in my mind be like, well, I'm just gonna wait until the next patch comes out. And the next patch comes out, and I don't pick it up right away. And then they're like, oh, well, now another patch is coming out. So I was like, I guess I'll wait. So I always just kept dabbling in this game, but never quite sat down with it. So obviously this week I put probably the most time I put in it in a short time, and I had a ton of fun with it. Cyberpunk 2077 is in a really good spot right now. It's a ton of fun. It has its issues. AI is not the smartest. The story isn't the most gripping, but this world itself, there's a lot to do. When I get to the action parts to it, which I wish there was just a little bit more of, I would love to get where I'm assaulting a whole base and just fighting a whole bunch of dudes. But it's usually just these small pockets of enemies that I'm kind of taking out, which usually only lasts a couple minutes. But when it is hitting, it's a ton of fun. I love the hacking in it. I love the environment. The graphics is great. The music, even though not fully my jam, fits really well with the environment. But if you want a good story, check out Netflix Cyberpunk 2077 Edge Runners. Great anime, great story, great characters. But yeah, as far as the game goes, to me, this is an 88. It's a lot of fun. Has its issues, but to me, if I had to pick a CD Projekt Red game, I'd still probably pick Witcher 3 over this. But which is surprising because I am more of a sci-fi person than a fantasy person. But yeah, overall though, it's great. I'm looking forward to the DLC. I plan on getting the DLC when I finish the main game.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a genre I just don't do well with anymore. And I used to absolutely love the Borderlands games, which I know are wildly different, but not in the sense of their open world and it's about, upgrading your character and RPG aspects like that. Like, I used to just love those games in this style, and I just don't find myself getting excited. And when Cyberpunk originally came out, that's kind of where I was at. I was like, I don't see the point in spending $70 or $60, whatever it was. At that point, I still had a Series X or a One X, so I definitely didn't have any real need to get it. And it just over the years, it just became one of those things. I was like, I just never got more interested to play it, even seeing more of it, whatever the case may have been. Unfortunately, it didn't change my opinion, and it's not even to say it's a bad game. It just did nothing to really pull me into it. It kind of felt like a Grand Theft Auto game that I couldn't get it excited about. Definitely parts of it are my own fault, and I know that, and I will recognize that. I also think that there's a good chance I probably would have liked this a lot more if I was quote unquote forced to play this for a longer period of time. Like if we did this over a 2 week period and I had more of an opportunity to really push myself into it. But there's not a lot that's probably going to force me to go back to it. I might pick it up just to see how it plays on Cloud Play or something, because I'm not likely to let the 77 gig or whatever sit on my hard drive at this point.
Yeah, it's a hefty boy.
Yeah, and it's a big game, but I wouldn't dissuade anyone from playing it though. Like it's not that type of a pass. It's the type of game that I didn't fall in love with, so I'm giving it a pass because that's how I'm rating it. But I don't know. I probably still recommend it to somebody at the end of the day. I'll give it a 77 to Smash Cyberpunk 77.
Wow, nice,
inspirational. I know.
Oh my
I
gosh.
I had
Hold on. What if I was using? I looked up the Spotify soundtrack, and Idris Elba does a rap song for the game.
oh my god.
Well,
called Roller Coaster.
now I have to reevaluate everything I said about this game.
That was
and
in the
score.
DLC. We did not review DLC.
I know, but now I just want the DLC for that.
Yeah, so this game, like I had mentioned at the beginning, like in some ways exceeded my expectations, in some ways came in lower on my expectations. And as you've probably heard, it probably depends on where you started with this game. If you've played this game before, maybe never finished it, or if you are coming into it completely fresh, you might have different interpretations of this. Overall, I think this game is worth it if you just want to explore a pretty unique city. Like we had mentioned, it may not be diverse, but I think there's actually a lot to see there. And there's a lot to kind of catch your eye as you're going through it as well. I think that alone, I think some of these side characters are really interesting and fun characters. The main story is fine. It's fine. It's not bad. I know we were kind of down on it, but that's just kind of part of being critical of it. It's not going to be one that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. But they took a big swing here, and some stuff really, really does work. And I'm glad that they stuck with it and made sure that the game was fixed to be in a much better place. There are some bugs. I ran into some visual bugs. We didn't really go over it. I know Keith had mentioned it. I mean, I
Oh
ran into a
yeah.
decent amount. None of it was game breaking, but there were definitely some visual bugs there. Overall, I'm going to give this an 83 for 2083, which is a few
Nice.
years after 2077.
I like that. I like that. I mean,
Thank you.
arguably we could say Andrew's 88 was 2088. That's 11 years after
Yeah, he
2077.
didn't say that though. So.
And if we're doing our 11s times tables, that's really the next number in it. So
Well, Andrew didn't do that, so it doesn't matter.
I'm doing that. All right. And also the other major bug that I ran into is I went to non-lethal kill someone and there's the entire thing locked up. Jackie was yelling at me to keep going. I'm like, I would love to. Just had to reset the whole mission because I'm just sitting there like this.
The
Just
guy's like,
hugging
"Let
a
me
guy.
go." You're like, "I want to. I'm trying."
Yeah, like I'm hoping someone's gonna turn and at least just shoot me. I'm like, nope, I just have to quit out of this at this point.
You're literally stuck in the animation, just like holding and hugging someone.
And this was after I finally figured out how to like advance time and actually start getting with missions. So I was already annoyed with the game. Like, great, now I have to start this stupid mission over again. I wasn't having a great time at this point.
I wish you saved that footage.
It wasn't a
All
very
right.
exciting clip. It was just me sitting there staring at that screen for about 30 seconds before I finally just quit the game.
All right, everyone. I think that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you have any game recommendations, please go to GamePassGrabBag.com. Check out our wonderful website. You can find the link. You can find our past reviews, the games we've covered. Top right corner, you'll find the links to all our stuff. Come to our Discord. Come to our YouTube. Say hi. Write us an email. We always love hearing from you guys, getting game recommendations. Or an easy way that people do it is also comment on our Spotify. But yes, I've been your hardcore gamer host, Andrew. You can find me on Xbox Live at Firebird0952. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. But thank you all. We love you all. And we'll see you again next week.
See ya.
You should have